How can a sport have more possible moves than there are atoms in the universe? All that, plus unexpected elements listeners tell us why they don't watch TV. Expect a radio lovin' coming up shortly.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. Police in the Netherlands are investigating violent attacks on Israeli citizens after a football match in Amsterdam, including reports that several Israelis are missing. 5 people were taken to hospital after the Europa League match between Maccabi Tel Aviv and Ajax Amsterdam. The United Nations Human Rights Chief has warned that the violence in Israel and Gaza could amount to war crimes or even genocide. The UN report says that children between 5 and 9 years old are the population group suffering the most deaths in Gaza. A senior Azerbaijani official overseeing this year's UN conference on tackling climate change has been filmed offering to facilitate discussions on potential fossil fuel deals. Elna Sultanov was recorded secretly by an activist who posed as an investor seeking to sponsor the COP29 meeting, which starts in Baku on Monday. China's central government says it will provide local authorities with more than $800 billion to clear some of their debts. The money will be used to pay off what are known as hidden debts, liabilities that exist but have not been disclosed. An Italian Navy ship has taken 8 asylum seekers to Albania to have their applications processed. Unless Italian or European courts intervene, as they have previously, they will be the first people to have their asylum claims processed under an outsourcing agreement between Albania and Italy. The authorities in Comoros have arrested a suspected people smuggler in connection with an incident in which traffickers deliberately capsized a boat, killing at least 25 people on board. An inauguration ceremony has taken place in Botswana for the country's newly elected president, Duma Boko. He defeated the incumbent in the poll that ended the governing party's run of almost 6 decades in power. BBC News.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? God, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? God, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. The coolest way to start your weekend.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Friday edition of the Morning Show. This is Starr Radio UK and this is your one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Now let's say good morning to my colleague and co-presenter Mr. Olayomi Koiki this morning, and to Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, the team for this morning, and our able producer Mr. Francis Guy. Francis, good morning to you. I salute you and all the wonderful team working behind the scenes to make sure that the program goes on. Well, good morning to you as well. Let me say good morning to Bishop Adesina Anthony Adedeji Aziz, Shamsuddin, massive good morning to you. A special good morning go to Felix all the way in Aberdeen, Kojo D, good morning to you, and then to Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. KB Bossman, Vicky Newton, and all presenters on Starr Radio. You can salute each and every one of you there, wherever you are listening to us from. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, Ajani Ajala, hey, good morning to you, sir. I hope you are doing very, very well there. And let me say good morning to Atakofi, all the way in Ghana, Chairman to be specific, and to the chief of a chairman who has become a fan of Starr Radio UK. Massive good morning to you, Nee. Yes, I will try to capture your name and then save it, so that I can give you all the necessary accord you all the necessary accolades there, right? Good. Attack of you. So if you get it now, let me have the full name of Nee. I will note it this time around. Yeah. Okay. So, but wherever you are, massive good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining the program. By way of program, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as Global Trot. And at 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria, and then we'll continue from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across other parts of the world. At 11:45, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. If you are fortunate to have Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining us live, then exactly at 12:30 we'll be bringing him on. However, if not, then at 12 o'clock we'll have to bring the first part of the program to a close. But I'm sure he might be joining in. So wherever you are, there's lots of things that are happening in the background, and he can throw more light on it. So once again, welcome to the program. This is Starr Radio UK. My apology is still there. For those of you who didn't see me yesterday, I came in with a hat on. Yes, because I'm a bit under the weather. The studio has to be kept cold because you cannot turn heaters on in the studio. But because of the weather and being there, so I had to put a hat to cover my head. Yeah? Good. So thank you very much for tolerating that. All right then. Yes? Good. All right then. So now let's move on. Let's start the program. Now, the quote for the day says, difficulties that seem like giant obstacles to you are pebbles to God. His power can toss them aside with far less effort than will take you to go over or go around it. All right, then. So whatever it is, still continue to hope in the Lord, right? That's good in a nutshell. That's all I want to say there. Now, moving on straight to the weather front this morning. I know that we are in autumn and the weather seems to be going down, and that's why all this cold weather is bringing lots of cold and flu or whatever you might call it. But today the top temperature is going to be 13 degrees, the lowest is going to be 9 degrees, UV level is going to be low, and pollution is going to be low. Sunset is going to be at 16:20, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:07 hours. But when it comes to tomorrow, that is a Saturday, we're going to have top temperature 14 degrees, the lowest 9 degrees, and Sunday same. It's all be cloudy like today. We might have a spite of sunshine come Monday. So until then, let's enjoy the cloud, if there's anything to be enjoying by that. But well, you are alive at least. Okay, now let's move on straight to the travels as well. On the travel this morning, the second line has got severe delays. District line severe delays. Hammersmith and City severe delays. Metropolitan line minor delays. London Overground has got severe delays as well. So check before you leave. That aside, the London Tramlink and London the DL are all running a good service. They are all running a good service there. On the major roads in London, there are no exceptional delays on any of the routes there. And then come to the river bus, good service there. The London cable car is also running a good service. And then final segment, that is the National Rail. On the National Rail, cross country, Hull trains, Island Line, London North Eastern Railway, Northern Rail, Southwestern Railway, Southern, Transpennine Express, Transport for Wales are all running a special, offering special service. And ScotRail is experiencing minor delays. So please check before you leave. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK at exactly 2 minutes to the top of the hour, and I take you straight to some of the stories that we're going to be looking at this morning. Starr, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. From Nigeria, well, the great collapse. Power Minister orders immediate implementation of committee's report. Now, hardship, we appreciate your endurance, federal government tells Nigerians. How much more can Nigerians endure these hardships? Well, and then when it comes to security, Nigeria and Britain hail partnership to boost economic ties and security. And then military confirms emergence of new terror group in Northwest. Yesterday I did talk briefly about that. The defense headquarters has confirmed the emergence of a new terror group known as Lukarawas in the northwestern states of Sokoto and Kebbi. Now, what are they going to do about that? The federal government, Lagos stakeholders push for digital economy e-governance bill. Well, it's easier said than done. With the spate of power outages and stuff like that. If we are having that, and you get to a place and maybe their card reader is not working because maybe they were supposed to have charged it and it's out of charge. How do you go transact business with them? So there are some basic things, that foundations or fundamental things that need to be done, and if those things are in place, then we can say, you know what, we can go on that path. But well, this and a lot more going to be coming your way in other stories as well. Okay, wonderful. Menayi Kwame Brony tune in live from Cape Town, South Africa. Kwame Bruni. Kwame, good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. Kwame Bruni in Cape Town, South Africa, and all our listeners in South Africa as well. I salute you all. Okay. Hey, Chantal, it's been a while. Good morning to you. All right, then let's crack on. From mask to ice made in Wales. What new Trump administration may look like. Well, it's continuing to appoint. And what is going to happen there? And then Israeli football fans attacked in Amsterdam. Officials have said the Dutch Prime Minister says he is horrified by the anti-Semitic attacks on Israeli citizens. Okay. Well, lots more going to be coming your way from there. And COP29 chief executive caught on film promoting fossil fuel deals. Now, Trump is coming. We know for sure fossil fuel is on his agenda. That's what they're going to be using. They're going to be, doing all sorts to make sure that the prices of fuel come cheaper than they're getting. So if you come COP26 and COP29, I don't think it will have any impact, because if one part of the world is doing that and the other part is not doing it, what happens to the others? Well, you want to know more, you got to stay with us. And then next death linked to approved weight loss drug. Okay, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. And police chief Kaba shooting claims fueled dangerous narrative. Okay, we'll be looking into that. And 3 charged in connection with Liam Payne's death. Okay, more coming your way from there. In other parts of Africa as well, as we go on, preparing the ground to have Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in. Botswana to legalize undocumented Zimbabweans, and that's what the president has said. The new president tells the BBC thousands of illegal Zimbabweans should be given temporary permits. Let's see what happens there. Trade aid security. What does Trump's win mean for Africa? Some have started even discussing that. Well, in an uproar in Ghana after president unveils his old statue, a bronze statue. Oh gosh, he said it's done good. It's done good. Well. And people are bashing it. What do you think? South Africa's radical opposition rocked by high-profile defections. At times, when they think that we are being in position for far too long and we're not going to be getting the monies to be sponsoring everything, they decide, what, it's about time we call it a day. Maybe that's what is happening, or maybe not. But what do you think about all that? A lot more going to be coming your way from there. Baumia will be remotely controlled by Akufo-Addo if elected president. Let's see, I didn't get here. The chairman of the opposition party, the biggest opposition party in Ghana, the NDC, is saying. And then Ablakwa demands dissolution of National Cathedral Secretariat. Now, that National Cathedral Secretariat, the National Cathedral is it going to be built? Now, if you're talking about the dissolution of the Secretariat, what do we do to get that particular edifice built? Are we going to have Akufo-Addo bringing his own money and then using his own lesson to build that? Or what exactly is going to happen? There's lots more going to be coming your way from there as well. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. GRA has become like a terrorist organization. Alassane Adani critiques tax regime. So what are they doing for them to be called a terrorist organization, terrorizing everybody in the country? EC not obligated, but will supply voter statistics by Monday. Well, anything to do so that the people will know that you are genuine, you are not doing anything unscrupulous there. Somebody will say, why not? Why not? Okay, Ayariga accuses Afenyo Makin of focusing on majority leader title over government business. Well, he wants to be the majority leader, but they said that, we are holding majority. Nobody wants to listen to the court. So what do you think about all that? A lot more going to be coming away from there. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, our deadlock could delay salaries, impact lives. Canada, Japan is saying to Parliament. So who is going to blink first? That is a question on the lips of most Ghanaians this morning as well. But there's a lot more going to be coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in, let's take this commercial break and we will be looking at some of the stories making the rounds elsewhere. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. You're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. my apologies. Just bear with me there. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactly 6 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is my privilege and honor once again to welcome my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, in the house. And let me say, Yomi, good morning.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie, and a very good morning to all our listeners from around the globe, and welcome to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I say good morning to you all, and please share the program. It is the Friday, and it is a beautiful day out there, and I can say the weather is not too bad as we're back in the winter, but it's a good morning to you. I know you're still under the weather, Mr. Archie, but I'm sure you will catch up, and many people will still be able to listen to us. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios, and I'm Archie here, and we are bringing you everything that you need to know pertaining to what is happening across the globe. But this time around, we're going to Nigeria. How is the family, and how is everything?
Well, the family are doing very well. We're grateful, and I hope yours are doing as well. Are doing very great because family, they say, come first in everything, and we're doing everything to make sure that the family is doing well.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. Now, let's crack on. I mean, last, was it the day before yesterday, that's Wednesday, when we were on, we did talk about the Chief of Army Staff who, the late Chief of Army Staff who passed on. Now, what have been the necessary arrangement that have been done pertaining to his burial and stuff like that? Do we have any information pertaining to that?
Well, presently, there is not much, apart from the fact that, a new Chief of Army Staff have been sworn in. We know that on Wednesday when we came on air, we told our listeners that, the FEC executive meeting was also postponed as well. Lagbaja served Nigeria with honor. This is coming from, the Deputy Senate as well. NMPC mourns late Army Chief Lagbaja. Tinubu, Governor Akpabio, CDA, others continue to mourn. And about 5 hours ago, Lagbaja, more condolences as the Inspector General of Police direct all officers to use the black armband for the next 7 days. This is actually, and for those that are probably maybe a little bit confused, Lagbaja is the one to your left-hand side, and so that maybe we get his actual images in, so that many of our listeners might be seeing, two different military personnel in that, backdrop images. That is Lagbaja, what we have there, so that we don't get it mixed up. A former military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, has also condoled with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the death of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja. The former military leader, popularly called IBB, sent the condolences through his media officers, described Lagbaja's death as a profound loss, not only to his immediate family, but to Nigeria as a whole. And like we said, the Inspector General of Police have now asked everyone to, the officers to have a black armband. We haven't got any details of his, of his burial, but similarly, a former senior special assistant to the National Assembly Matters, Senator Babajide Omowore, has said Late General Lagbaja was a courageous fighter. In a statement yesterday in Abuja, Omowore said his gallantry on the battlefield command of the troops and service to Nigeria showed that he was a gallant officer. So you can see that, many coming through as Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun yesterday ordered officers and men of the Nigerian police to wear black band for the next 7 days to continue the mourning. So the news of his death was announced on Tuesday this week, and it seems that many Nigerians are still skeptical whether he died on Tuesday or he died 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's a question that most people, but we can say Prophet Simon Ekpa, Prophet, I give him a new title. Simon Ekpa they said that he died a couple of weeks ago, and they were just saying that wasn't true. But whatever it is, if it's this part of the world, they'll come and tell you exactly what has gone on, even what brought about his death. They will let us know. I mean, so that if let's say, let me take an example that it maybe is prostate. If it's prostate and somebody, a high-profile person, has died out of that, they will think that it's something that when it's used, it will get people to go in, the men to go and check themselves. So at times they come out with those things so that it can help us, or something, a health issue that have got him to lose his life. After all, we know that it's not an accident or anything that caused him to die that way. So whatever it is, they will come out with whatever so that it will help others now know that we have to go to the hospital. But again, Yomi will tell me that the hospital are not even functioning the way they're supposed to function. So already we are struggling. So why do we bring some more in? But there's nothing that have been said about his death. The cause, have they?
Well, I don't think we would ever, get such information because, apart from, respect to the family, I don't think the government would literally want to tell us, what was the cause of the death of the Chief of Army Staff. But we do know that there's a lot of rumors out there. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot, especially for someone, that is fighting the Boko Haram. We're telling you in this update that we now also have a new terrorist that has emerged, according to the military yesterday. So he was a fighter, according to what we've read. And we know that, as usual, whether this was an illness, whether it was an attack that led to the death, we can't confirm that. But all I can say is that Lagbaja, from Osun State, appointed by Tinubu just last year after Tinubu emerged as the president, expectation was coming from all quarters, especially from the south to the southeast to the middle belt, where we know that there's a lot of emergency of the insecurity in the country. But it seems that Lagbaja played his role and somebody else have now taken charge. But as we always say, a lot happened in Nigeria within the military hierarchy. It's not the first time that we've lost top ranking military officer. Even when Babangida that is making condolences was there, we've seen military aircraft come down. We've seen military personnel being taken out, because those positions are very important, because whoever controls the military controls Nigeria.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, we say once again our condolences to the family and to the whole of Nigeria as well. But a new army chief of army staff that has been appointed, what is his pedigree? What do you think? Do we know about him a bit? Has he been there for long? Can we say anything positive that he went to also, maybe he was seen to the troops in this particular place or anything? Or is he somebody just in the background? Where is he from and who is he?
Well, bear with me. I think there's no sound coming through from my end on the other side.
Do we know about him a bit? Has he been there for long?
Yeah, because we're actually transmitting back to our platform.
Yeah.
Apologies there, but the audio has been picked now. In apology to all our listeners on the sister broadcast. Well, what we can say is that the new, military personnel. Thanks so much, Dash Mayor, for giving us the update. That's the beauty of the technology. You can pick up the comment. An apology once again to those for the last few minutes where there was no audio coming through. Well, the new chief of army staff would play a new role as we know, because let's give you the new chief of army staff is Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. We'll try and see if we can bring his image up in just about a few minutes as well. In terms of comparison with with the late Lagbaja, we know that the new chief of army staff would also was a colleague, as we know. He was sworn in just about a few days ago by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He would then have to take a bigger role, because right now the insecurity in the country continue to create a lot of problems across all networks. What we want to see is how quickly we can get the security situation. I'm not sure if my audio is still coming back to you in the studio.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, so we will want to see how he's going to take and tackle the challenges of what many Nigerians, expect, the government to do. Because like we say, if there is a lot of insecurity in the country, that is going to continue to have ripple effect and impact on the economy itself, especially when we are getting kidnapping, goods and services will not be able to move from point A to B. And like I was looking at, Thailand yesterday, early hours this morning, many people would travel to Thailand, which is about 14 hours. We would have loved to get them to Nigeria, Ghana, and many African countries, but we have to be able to guarantee the international passengers that wants to come to a country like Nigeria that they will not be kidnapped for ransom and they will be able to operate without fear when they're in the country. But right now, the new Chief of Army Staff has a big role to play, and we continue to monitor that, when we come on air.
Well, he has got a big role to play, and straight on, we know that the country is not only battling ISWAP, Boko Haram, and Fulani menace, and now we have Lukarawas there as well. So, Yomi, instead of us trying to quell the whole thing now, it's rather expanding. Who are these Lukarawas, and where are they operating, and what have been their impact there on Nigeria this time?
It's not shocking and it's not new that we have terrorists around the world, and the job of terrorists is to maim, kill, and destroy, especially with the kind of ideology that they have. But yesterday, the military has now confirmed to the international community and Nigerians that we now have a new breed of terrorist group in the Northwest. This was coming from the Defense Headquarters, has confirmed the emergence of a new terror group known as Lukarawas in the northwestern state of Sokoto State and Kebbi. While addressing the newsmen in Abuja yesterday, the Director of Defense Media Operation, Major General Edward Buba, said the new terror group is an exacerbating insecurity in the northwest region, but the armed forces of Nigeria are already containing them. We were told the same thing with the Boko Haram until we saw, the girls being picked up. We've seen many other, terrorist activities continue to operate in Nigeria. That means that the military has a new challenges from the Lukarawas. But what we are also being told by the Nigerian military is that this has got to do with after the coup d'etat in Niger, which is border to Nigeria. Troops are confronting this new terrorist sect in the northwest. This sect is known as Lukarawas. The Lukarawas are affiliated to a terrorist in Sahel, particularly from Mali and Niger Republic. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll say good luck to Olefemi Oluyede, the new chief, military chief, or the new chief of army staff. He's got a battle on his hand, but we hope that he gets all the necessary apparatus to be able to fight this menace. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Here in the studio, myself, Archie, and we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios, where we are bringing you all the updates from Nigeria at the moment. That great collapse. Now, we had Peter Obi the other time chastising them that it cannot go on like that because they voted for an incompetent government, and that's what they are seeing. Another great collapse. And so, what is happening, Yomi?
Well, you will expect, a country like Nigeria to have, got itself out of, power supply. You were in Nigeria in the 80s, and you've talked about, a better pass your neighbor, the power sector. Investment continue to be pumped in, but what we are not getting is the results. That means that this morning again, we'll be saying that the grid has collapsed. That's the power minister. We've had previous power ministers that have come in, tried to make things change, and but again, the power minister has now ordered immediate implementation of a committee report. That is what we want to look at. We know that report comes through in every part of the world, but how do we work on those reports? How do we make sure that the report that is coming out is worked on rather than kept under the cupboard and nobody's looking at it. Meanwhile, the TNC has assured consumers that efforts were being intensified to ensure uninterrupted power supply to them. The TNC appealed for understanding on the intimate disruptions as the grid repairs begins. But the power minister, Chief Adebayo Adelabu behind me, has now ordered the TNC, which stands for Transition Company of Nigeria, and all other relevant agencies of the ministry to begin immediate implementation of the recommendation of the interagency committee that was set up to address the incident grid power collapse in the country. Going by the information, the minister matched order as the transmission company report that the national grid was experiencing a disruption at just about 11:29 a.m. yesterday was caused by a sudden rise in the frequency from 50 to 30 megahertz to 51. The special advisor to the Minister on Strategic Communication and Media, Honorable Bolaji Tuji, quoted minister saying that all relevant agencies must brace up for immediate implementation. Those implementation is what we're going to monitor for the next couple of days, because if those report is saying that the implementation will have resolved problem, the question is, why are they delaying and making many Nigerians to sleep in darkness?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, because when did this interagency committee make these recommendations? And how come that it has been shelved until now, that we are still having lots of issues pertaining to the power grid collapse and stuff like that they are talking about that? And again, have they asked people who have got interest in that particular field? Because for sure, we have, let me just digress a bit. We have the refinery by what do we call him, Dangote, and then we have the oil marketers doing everything, saying that no, you cannot monopolize it, because why? They are shipping finished product in, and that is their business, and they think they are making business out of there, and therefore if Dangote takes over, they are going to lose out. Okay, now in the same vein, those who are selling past my neighbor are also making money out of that. So if you have a permanent or electricity supply, that is their business going out. So is there a sabotage that is going on there? And how is government trying to address all those issues? Yomi?
There is more than sabotage. Nigeria is still using transformer installed in the 1960s. So what that means is that, this is coming again from the Nigerian Minister of Power, says this during an inter-ministry briefing on Friday, that Nigeria in 21st century, we are still using transformer that was installed when we got independent from Britain in 1960. Wow. So the question then is, the federal government says that infrastructure deficit is a challenge in the country's power sector, with transformer that was installed in the 60s being used in some part of Nigeria. Nigeria Power Minister Adebayo Adelabu said this during an inter-ministry briefing in Abuja. The question you've asked is, do we have others that might be interested in the power sector? Mm-hmm. That takes us back to, I believe the uncle to Davido that told us through a conversation that came out in the public domain that he was interested in the power sector, but for whatever reason, the cabals would not allow such to play out. And I'll take us back. Davido's father, I generated 15% of Nigeria electricity. Dr. Adedeji Adeleke, a billionaire businessman and the father of the music star Davido Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, says is responsible for generating 15% of Nigerian electricity supply. He said this during the 7-day Adventist Church General Conference Annual Council in Maryland in the United States on Tuesday. That was about a few weeks ago. The billionaire business disclosed that he is about expanding his $2 billion investment power sector through constructing about 1,250 megawatt power plant. So that shows that people want to invest in it. We know that in the UK we have the French energy that is supplying, and we also have different suppliers. Mm-hmm. The question is, when we are still using grid, according to the report earlier, if we're still using these transformers from the 1960s, money has been put in. I remember when Obasanjo was in power, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he also, put in $16 billion, on the power sector. The question is, where did the money travel to, and why did Nigerians never experience any sort of power improvement during his tenure and even after his tenure? And the expenditure of the 16 billion power sector during Obasanjo is still being discussed, even though we don't know how the money went and where the money traveled to.
Now, interestingly, this recommendation by the interagency committee, when was it? Do you have an inkling as to when that the agency starts to put that recommendation together? Is it this year or last year?
Well, I was trying to see if I can pick that from the report coming out this morning, but I can't have any information on that. But I believe, if the minister is saying that recommendation has been put in place, whether this recommendation was yesterday, whether it was a month ago, why do we allow power sector to continue to go into darkness when we should be looking into this recommendation until an immediate, implementation is now coming up on the night time that the power sector continue to collapse?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. If it's making headlines, be rest assured we're going to bring that your way. And those are some of the stories making the headlines this morning from Nigeria. But so we have Ms. Olayomi Koiki in North London Studios. I'm Archie here, and we bring you more from there. Now, Yomi, I've opened a new university, and we are going to honor you with a doctorate degree. We'll call you Professor Olayomi Koiki. Whether it is the right one or not, it seems to be like Nigerians are falling prey to this because people are just raking in the cash. Tell us more about this honoris causa illegal varsities.
Well, Nigerians are well read, we are told, until we start finding out that fake results were coming out from Benin Republic. Many universities are not even up to what to be called any kind of university. It's not the first time that many universities that are not even meant to be out there continue to deceive many Nigerians in the hope that by the time you complete this degree, you would be having a very good degree to take to the market. And when I'm into the market, it could be anywhere around the world, including outside the country. But what I can confirm this morning, illegal universities are milking away hungry Nigerians for cash. Who is telling us these, and why are we getting this information? According to Deborah Tolu Kolawole, write on how several uncredited universities have turned Nigerians desperate for honorary degree awards into cash cows. Despite questions about the legality, prominent Nigerian politicians, celebrities, and clerics have continued to bag honorary degree, popularly referred to as honoris courses, from uncredited universities or degree mills. Investigation shows that these degrees are not awarded to the recipient based on the contribution to national or human development. The awards are literally paid for by the recipient just to have, I am now a doctor.
Well, I am now a professor from Starr UK. But the accreditation of the universities, how does it happen? I mean, do you have an inkling to that as well? How do they get the accreditation?
Well, like I said, as long as somebody knows you and you can be contacted, a few times, people will reach out to you and say, we think you're outstanding based on what you're doing, which is meant to be. And but it seems that that is not what is happening. Many people are paid for such so that they can just have it at the back of their name that they are now also honorary, and that means that organizations are milking a lot of money from many Nigerians for that reasons.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. It's exactly 11:30, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria on the Starr Radio UK morning show, the Friday edition, of course. How is your Friday like? You want to pass your comments? Feel free, post it on our platforms, and we will share it with our wonderful listeners. But now, let's go to Yomi for the rest of the stories. Over to you, sir.
Well, hunger, they says, doesn't know whether you're Christians, you're Muslim, or you're traditionalist, whether you're female or male. Hunger is making many Nigerians, to ask Nigerian government what plan they have, to bring this hunger out as quickly as possible. But according to Wale Edun this morning, who is the Minister of Economy, Wale Edun says, Archie, we appreciate your endurance, federal government tells Nigerians. The minister says the teething problems from the reforms are over for Nigerians, as positive indicators for better days are already emerging. According to what the federal government yesterday says, that it appreciates the endurance of Nigerians on the side effect of economic reforms, which according to it have started yielding results. I'm not sure what part of the world this result is coming from, but I can tell you that this result is not going anywhere because many of our families are still crying out for support and help from many of us outside the country. According to him, that the two critical reforms on the market-based price of premium motor spirit known as petrol and the foreign exchange are now at the stage of result delivery and by extension, viability of the nation's economy through restoration of physical viability is stated. These two pillars of the economy reforms that have taken positive shape now potent additional revenue. Like I said, Mr. Wale Adun can sit in Abuja and tell us that the country is going to bounce back. But I can tell him that this morning that we are still have to support deep hand in the pocket so that many of our loved ones do not go to bed without having something to eat. We know that many parts of the world is facing different difficulties, but the question is the difficulties of Nigeria the man-made? What can be done? Maybe as many people that are campaigning that the Nigeria has to dissolve so that we can be able to take care of ourselves as a country for those that are campaigning for Yoruba Nation and the Biafra and the Arewa. That takes me straight to, the Nigeria and Britain Hill partnership to boost economic ties and security. According to David Lammy, a communique has now been released by the British government just days after David Lammy, the foreign secretary, paid a visit to Nigeria en route to South Africa. I'm going to read quickly what David Lammy brought back with that particular communique in just about a few minutes. But like I said, Nigerians are still asking questions regarding, these issues when it comes to, insecurity that has led to many Nigerians struggling to have their daily bread today. Like I said, this trip by David Lammy to Lagos, took him to Abuja, is the reason why the news coming out this morning says Nigeria and Britain will continue to hail partnership to boost economic ties and security. Nigeria and Britain on Monday, they had established a strategic partnership to boost economic growth, strengthen security cooperation, and likewise enhance personal ties. The Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga and his British counterpart David Lammy outlined a partnership that also seeks to reinforce ongoing security and the counter-terrorism effort. At 11:34 a.m., we take it straight to more other headline of news coming out of Nigeria. Let's go straight to politics. Ondo poll, Adeleke, Southwest PDP take their campaign to marketplaces. Again, the marketplaces is the target for many of these politicians. But the question is, when they become, the governors, the deputy, the marketers, the market traders are the same that have to face the burden of many of their, different, reforms. Let's prioritize unity over 2027 ambition. Makinde Saraki is urging the PDP leaders. We know that Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, refused to endorse as one of the G5 Atiku during the last election. As election is still far away, but politicians are already preparing as usual for the election itself. So Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and the former Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki yesterday urged chieftaincies of the People's Democratic Party to ensure unity within the party by not allowing individual presidential ambition to cause division. There was a huge division during the period of the 2023 election, as we know that many of those did not support. Ondo poll cash trap parties dump campaign and cling to APC and the PDP. As the Ondo governorship draw closer, you might be asking why there's an election again in Nigeria. Many of the states are not running parallel to the federal election like the presidential, because there was a kind of court cases, as we know, and as we were saying, that Kamala Harris accepted defeat. If this was Nigeria, they would have added 0 to the last number of Kamala Harris, and they would have said go to court. As Ondo State governorship, right, that the political tactics adopted by the smaller parties to join the ruling party to also against the opposition. It is not new that many political parties are set up as another gimmick, so that the smaller ones will then merge with the bigger ones, as we've seen in many other parts of the world. I'm going to take one more before coming back again to you in the studio. EFCC plan to arrest me. It's coming from Obaseki, just like Sanwo-Olu was crying out as well last week that EFCC is planning. I don't know why they're always worried that EFCC wants to arrest them. If you haven't done anything wrong, EFCC have the right to arrest you, just as EFCC arrests the young Nigerians that drive flashy cars, and most of them are told that they are yahoo, even though we know that most of them are hardworking. According to the report coming this morning, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, and don't mix it up, because sometimes people might be thinking that the images behind is the person that we're talking about. So it is very, very important that on this platform we give you the right images so that we don't get them mixed up. And the images of Obaseki is the one that I've just put behind right now. He is the current governor of Edo State. But it seems that his tenure elapsed on the 14th of November, and it seems that EFCC will be waiting for him, according to him. EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, is planning to arrest me after my tenure, November 14. Speaking at the Edo Best National Resource Sharing section in Abuja, Obaseki, the current governor of Edo State, revealed he received information about the EFCC plan to arrest and detain him over alleged fraud. If you haven't committed a crime, you must be arrested. Question. And we're asking the EFCC, why is Yaya Bello still a free man in Nigeria today?
Now, it's quite interesting because Obaseki, I think, was it sometime this week or sometime last week, had some commendations from Obasanjo and some of the other state men. Okay, because I was looking at one story where I think Obasanjo's wife there was a hospital or something that was named after Obasanjo's wife. Is it the right person? Is it the same person I'm talking about here?
Well, always you're right. Ex-President Obasanjo, Patient Jonathan, commend Obaseki at the launch of a rebuilt 250-bed hospital. They're always good at rebuilding, but to maintain it in the next 1 year, you will cry for the dilapidated hospital. You're quite right, Obasanjo, and let's see if we can get that image out. And I might let you continue, but I'll get the image behind. But you're quite right. There was a new built Nigerian former President Obasanjo has commended Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki for his commitment to human welfare, well-being, and development in the course of his 8 years administration. The ex-Nigerian leader spoke in Benin City when he formally launched the rebuilt and expanded 250-bed hospital named after his late wife, Stella Obasanjo. And I hope Obaseki will be making use of that hospital himself after he leaves office on the 14th of November.
Well. Hey, if he needs to, he has to. But so why is the EFCC coming after him?
There must have been intelligence that Obaseki might want to probably take a little bit of break. Not for any reason, but maybe not to run away. But EFCC are always on standby when governors are finishing their tenure. While they are governor, they have that immunity. That means that nobody can touch them. Yaya Bello ran like a rat from next to door, running under Olodo, the new governor, sleeping in the government house so that nobody comes there because EFCC will not bounce into a new governor's residence. Yaya Bello eventually is still a free man, while Obaseki is already worried. It's not just Obaseki, even Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu last week was already crying out that EFCC might pick him up after his tenure. All this is still according to EFCC or intel according to those governors that they have dipped their hand into the government coffer, as we saw Yaya Bello paying large amount of money for the children upcoming school fees from the state coffer.
Well, if he's using the money to help the people rather than using the money to come and buy some nice building here in Trafalgar Square or those areas, why not? At least they use it on the people. But the EFCC will come after them if they didn't use it judiciously. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. Now, Yomi, there was one of the stories that you did touch on first, the hunger, where we have the Minister for Finance, let me call him that way.
Yeah, we picked on that earlier, and then we link it to yes.
Yeah. Now I'm talking about the government palliative that was rolled out. Has it actually worked for people, or they give them one bag of rice and that's been it for how many months? They think that you have to depend on that or fend on that bag of rice, and that will do for you. So what are they doing now?
I'm sure there will be more bag of rice roll out before Christmas because the government are good on doing that. Just to say, we give you rice, but we can't give you the chicken. You might have to just get a fish or something. I mean, on a serious note, the country is on a critical situation, and like Bishop Adesinyo says, Nigeria needs to start preparation from December to January. They will be filled with financial and food crisis in Nigeria, and is speaking from the person as astronomic decoder.
Atakofi, good morning to you. Aziz Badasiri. Hey, it's been a long time, Aziz. I hope you are doing very, very well. We salute you, sir.
And Aziz was in London, during the Igbo's dinner and rally. He flew to London, but apparently because of time constraint, he couldn't make it down to the studio to pay you a courtesy visit. But Aziz flew in from Florida for that particular event, that led to the rally on the 12th of October.
Okay, Aziz, well done. You not just talk the talk and just walk away, but you talk the talk and you put your money where your mouth is. Well done to you. All right then, listeners, Starr Radio UK. We know Yomi has spent so much time, but if there are any of the issues happening, recommendations or comments on social media, what is going on there, Yomi?
Well, Son Odu, watching us from the States, as many of our listeners are listening, waking up, on the Starr Radio because they enjoy watching the Starr Radio while they're waking up, getting ready. We are coming up to almost noon in London. Son Odu says, Nigeria, it has collapsed. So what does anyone expect from a collapsed building? It's coming from there. Also, we go straight to what is happening in the particular social media this morning, and as you can tell, national grid is the most discussed this morning. What is the national grid? We talked about it at the beginning of this conversation, where Adelabu has instructed straight away that many needs to be done. Shola Adekoya says national grid has to be upgraded as it was never meant to carry this much load. This is one of the political analysts that I'm just watching right now. Let's see more, Nigeria responding to it. Today episode on Nigeria, Abiku called national grid. Abiku is something that, in Yoruba land, a child that was born and has to die, and they call it Abiku. These are what people are saying on Twitter this morning. Yombas, they just off light for a year, and the response from man of letter is national grid is almost gone again. And the next one is, gosh, this is coming from Fisayo. I hate these light issues so bad. The current went so low and came back. Samu Alajo says, I swear this thing don't collapse. So as many Nigerians are experiencing the low quality light, that means the grid was collapsing. The last one is Oyepepe say, I not sure say this grid go waka after 2 days old. And J Niger say national grid almost fall sick now.
Well, as it says, Say no to the new amalgamation. Yoruba Nation is the solution. And it says thank you very, very much there as well. And all our listeners, we want to say thank you very, very much. And for those of you who have joined us this morning on this live broadcast that is coming your way from the Starr Radio UK studios with me, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Before Yomi goes, Yomi.
Well, on the Starr Radio UK this morning, as the Kings' expectation that they were going to have a meeting yesterday, it looks like all the meetings probably went ahead, but all the kings did not attend. Could it be because the Yoruba spoke out loud that no kings will be given the opportunity without pressure if they return Nigeria or the Yoruba back into what we called a fraudulent amalgamation? And that means that yesterday, as a lot of Nigerians or Yorubas around the world were waking up to see if we will see notable first-class king, none of them attended that meeting, but there's still a lot of speculation that the deal has been done underneath to keep the Yoruba people in Nigeria for another 50 years by 2075.
Well, Yomi, if that is true, I know that we're finished with our discussions, but when did this amalgamation take place? Who were the negotiators then?
Well, the kings were all called for a meeting just after Igbowo's letter was delivered on the 12th of October. David Lamy flew to Nigeria. There's a lot of rumors underneath that David Lamy took that agreement, for the new amalgamation. David Lamy actually told us that there will be a better Nigeria by 2075. So if you work at that 2075, that is exactly 50 years from now.
Okay, let's see. If they have done any amalgamation, they should let us see the content of what they agreed on. Because back in the day, we didn't see it. Now, they cannot pull a wool over our faces or our eyes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. Yomi, let me say thank you very, very much before you go.
Well, it is the Friday and it is the weekend, but Starr Radio UK operates 24/7, 7 days a week. That means that even after I have left, make sure you continue to share, download the apps, follow us on the Starr Radio UK. Remember to have a subscription, turn on the notification button, especially when we're coming on air for the update from Nigeria. As I leave you for the weekend, I say enjoy the rest of the weekend. To all our listeners from the sister broadcast, I say good morning, good afternoon. My name is Olayomi Koiki on the Starr Radio this morning. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Mr. Olayomi Koiki. But let me read a comment from Bishop Adesina. He says, today, National Electric Grid collapses. By December, communication network will be announced collapse also. Well, so he's saying that everything is collapsing, as some of our listeners have said. He said virtually everything seemed to be collapsing. And I would say, I'll put it this way, things fall apart. The center cannot hold. But what do you think about that? We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back, we'll be bringing you more. This update now continues. Nigerians should prepare ahead. There will be financial and food crisis in Nigeria by December and January. Well, I remember Bishop Adesina saying, making some recommendations about how things are going to be tough during the first year of the current government. And lo and behold, it has been tough. So, well, if you want to, see whether you have to hearken to what he's saying, then that is an instant of what he professed at the time and how it came to pass. And he's now saying tough times are ahead come December and January. What do you think? Let's take a break and we'll be back with you. Stay tuned. Starr Radio UK. Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired. Go. You go Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Oh boy. For your stressed out. Tired. Go. You're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa. They provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? On time. JN Mobile Spa. Your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Yes, there's fire on the mountain. Yes. And it's Star Radio UK. We have you there to make sure you douse the fire out by bringing you all the information that you also sharing your take with us pertaining to what has gone on. Let me say thank you very much. Kudos to you too, Bishop Adesina, and to everyone who has contributed their comments in one way or the other. It's now 8 minutes to the top of the hour. We continue, but the lines are open if you want to call in 0208 133 2257. The number, just feel free, do so and let us hear from you. All right. So now let's move on to other parts of the world. When I say part of the world, what am I talking about there? Still in Africa before we come to the other parts of the world. Yes. Now, Botswana is to legalize undocumented Zimbabwean there. Botswana's new president has told journalists that he wants undocumented Zimbabweans to be legalized by granting them temporary work and resident permits. Now, they do jobs that will otherwise not get done. Duma Boko said Africa Daily podcast before his historic inauguration today. Now, Botswana hosts the world's second largest community of Zimbabweans fleeing their country's economic woes, and they are often resented with deportation taking place daily. The decision is not likely to be popular in the diamond-rich southern African nation, but Boko, 54, who has just unseated the ruling party that was in power for 58 years, said it was part of his plans to revive the economy. Now, President Boko said it was a challenge when thousands of Zimbabweans entered Botswana through the long and porous border between the two countries. They came in and are undocumented. Then their access to amenities is limited. It is available at all. If it's available at all. And what they then do is they live outside the law and they commit crimes, and they brings resentment, he said. So what we need to do is to formalize, have a proper arrangement that recognizes the people from Zimbabwe who are already here. Now, it is unclear exactly how many Zimbabweans are in Botswana, but thousands of have been coming back and forth since Zimbabwe's economy imploded because of hyperinflation 2 decades ago. Some have also sought political refugee. Statistics that are available show that Zimbabweans account for 98% of what is termed irregular migrants. Now, responding to a parliamentary questioning earlier this year, a minister said that from 2021 to 2023, out of a total of 13,489 recorded, 13,189 were Zimbabweans. National. Now, every day, a police station around the country organized deportation of Zimbabweans arrested for not having papers or being involved in crimes. They tend to work doing cheap labor, often a domestic worker and farm workers. A lot of those workers from Zimbabwe perform tasks that the citizens find unattractive. They do jobs that will otherwise not get done, and so there is no conflict there, Boko said. However, there was a backlash against the government late last year after it was proposed that the identity cards be used instead of passports for those traveling between Botswana and Zimbabwe. The overall sentiment was that the move will lead to the arrival of more Zimbabweans. Well, the thing is, if they know that that is what's going to be done. But if you are registered them, you are able to tax them, right? Okay, but let's see what is going to happen there as it promises. There's a new day, a new sheriff in town, and a new law in town. Let's see. But I would think that is a good thing, trying to regularize them so that you can actually, somehow, tax them as well if they're working there. Now let's come to some other stories making the round this morning across the globe. So, in Africa. Now, South Africa's radical opposition party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, appears to be on a downward spiral after another high-profile member defected to ex-President Jacob Zuma's party. Now, Dalu Mpofu, an advocate and former EFF chairperson, told local media that after much soul-searching, he had decided to join Nkonto Wezizwe, or Spear of the Nation. I believe it is the vehicle which will achieve the much needed black and progressive unity, he said. Led by Firebrand Julius Malema, the EFF has strong support among South African burgeoning youth population frustrated with the slow pace of political and economic reforms since the end of racist system of apartheid in 1994. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, still in Africa. This time round, looking at Ghana. Ghana's outgoing president, Nana Akufo-Addo, is facing a backlash on social media after he unveiled a statue of himself during a tour of the country's western region. They captured his head perfectly there, you know? Yeah, the monument is intended to honor the development initiatives the president has overseen whilst in office. The region's minister, Kwabena Ochiri-Daku-Mensah, but many Ghanaians have been mocking its installation outside a hospital in the city of Sekende, seeing it as a self-glorification. The people of the western region deserve better than these self-serving display, opposition MP Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa posted on X. Akufo-Addo, who will be standing down in January after 2 terms in power, has boasted that he has fulfilled 80% of his promises to Ghanaians. He unveiled the monument prominently placed in front of the Sekende Efia-Kwanta Regional Hospital on Wednesday during a visit that he has been dubbed a thank you tour. At the ceremony, Daku-Mensah, who oversees the Western region, highlighted several key projects initiated under the president. But the statue has sparked a wave of criticism, with some Ghanaians questioning its importance when several key projects remain incomplete. It would be admirable if the president had allowed posterity to recognize and appreciate his work. An ex-user also posted. A section of the public is calling for the statue, photos of which have gone viral, to be pulled down after the president leaves office. Would it? Let's say Mahama wins the election and comes in. Do you think he will advocate for that, or will he even care about that? Well, I think that because the National Cathedral project failed to be completed, that's why he thought, let me get something else that posterity can remember me by, and therefore has done that. But, well, in relation to the National Cathedral, the Bible's that's North Tongue MP Samuel Kujacha Blocker has said the Bible says a laborer deserves his wages, but he doesn't think the laborers of the National Cathedral Secretariat deserve their wages. The MP, who has been on a crusade against what he terms corruption in the executive of the project, has called for the immediate dissolution of the National Cathedral Secretariat. According to him, even though the project has stalled, the state is still losing money through the payment of salaries of the staff and management of the Secretariat. The members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Joyce Ayi, has however justified the continuous payment of the salaries of management and staff of the Secretariat. But speaking to Parliamentary Correspondent Ibrahim Al-Hassan, the chairman of the Government Assurance Committee questioned the basis for which payment, given the fact that the project has been halted. So the project has been halted, nothing is going on, but the Secretariat are still enjoying some nice money there. And what do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Well, still in the boycotting and the resuming and everything, the executive director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, has labeled the MPP caucus' recent parliamentary boycott as a bad strategy, arguing that their actions have only worsened the current political impasse. Now, speaking this morning, Dr. Rahman, yesterday, yesterday, Dr. Rahman criticized the MPP caucus for their absence, suggesting that they should have engaged in Parliament and raised their concerns directly. The strategy of the MPP is the bad one. I think that Rashid noted the strategy of the MPP would have been one where they would show up in the House and raise the issues about what happened before what the Supreme Court said. The MPP caucus boycott stemmed from their dissatisfaction with Speaker Alban Gbagbe's action regarding the 4 seats declared vacant by the Speaker, a decision later overturned by the Supreme Court. The MPP initiative recalls that Parliament have its adjournment on October 22, only to boycott the proceedings after the recall. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, now we've got less than a month for the elections to take place in Ghana, which is taking place on the 7th of December. Well, the Deputy Chairman in charge of corporate services at the Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Asari, has assured public, including political parties, that the Commission will provide detailed summaries of voters register latest by Monday, 11th of November, even though it is not obligated to do so. He said that EC's technicians are working around the clock to extract the various summaries, which will soon be accessible to the general public. And although he explained that the Commission is not obligated by any legal provisions to provide such data to the political parties, Dr. Sari said that all statistics related to the voters register for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections can be queried from the certified register, which the Commission has already supplied to political parties. Now, several political parties led by the National Democratic Congress have requested a detailed breakdown, including the total number of registered voters, transferred voters, constituency and regional voter population, a proxy list, and various other specifics to enable them verify the credibility of the register. Dr. Sari confirmed that all requested information can be obtained from the registrar, giving the parties, stating the Commission took it upon itself to ensure that we will provide all these data, not only at the national level, but also at the regional level. We assure the parties that we will provide this information, though we couldn't consolidate all the details initially. However, this is what is crucial is that the Commission has fulfilled its legal obligation by providing a certified registrar to the political parties as required by law, which we did yesterday, he said on a radio show. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, at 5 minutes past the top of the hour. We're very fortunate to get Mr. Dan Tabiri. We'll be bringing him on, but if not, then we will be just plodding on as Felix will say, and then we'll bring the program to a close once we have finished with all the necessary updates and news that is making the rounds this morning. one other story, and then we'll move on from there. Now, the former chief executive officer of Stanbic Bank, Al-Hassan Adani, has criticized the Ghana Revenue Authority for the Rambo style it deploys in the collection of taxes from businesses. According to him, the revenue arm of the government acts like a terrorist who wriggles the arms of people to take money. Speaking at the CEO Presidential Gala dinner in Accra yesterday, the former CEO of Stanbic Bank bemoaned how the current tax system is suffocating the private sector. Anani stated that the rigid tax system payment of 33 different taxes is hindering the growth of businesses and fueling corruption. The GRA has become a terrorist organization. I know a number of organizations, when GRA gets into their space, it's as if they deliberately do it in order to wriggle people's arms to take money, he said during the panel discussion. He added, when GRA is coming, it is like a terrorist coming. It is supposed to be you file what you projected to do for the year, and you pay tax quarterly. Any new tax measures we don't simplify, and indeed merge and delete some taxes. We just have to rationalize it and give this very emerging capital or private sector people time to breathe, and Danny indicated. So do you see them as terrorist group? Well, said the Rambo style that they will enter your premises to do stuff. Oh, that will shake you, wouldn't it? But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on. Amsterdam's mayor has condemned the hit-and-run attacks on Israeli football fans visiting the city on Thursday night. Femke Halsema, speaking at a press conference which we were monitoring by said men on scooters were searching for the supporters. The violence happened as Israeli football club Maccabi Tel Aviv was in Amsterdam for a Europa League match. Now, 5 people were taken to hospital but were discharged this morning. Now, police say at least 62 people have been arrested. Before the match, there was trouble between Maccabi fans and pro-Palestinian protesters. Maccabi supporters attacked a taxi and set a Palestinian flag on fire on Wednesday. There are also reports of supporters chanting racist slogans about Arabs. And that is a big one there. Oh boy. Well, we're bringing you all that from Starr Radio UK, the favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The most prominent Islamic scholar in Gaza has issued a rare powerful fatwa condemning Hamas' 7 October 2023 attack on Israel, which triggered the devastating war in the Palestinian territory. Professor Dr. Salman Al-Daya, former dean of the Faculty of Sharia Law at the Hamas-affiliated Islamic University of Gaza, is one of the region's most respected religious authorities, so his legal opinion carries significant weight among Gaza's 2 million population, which is predominantly Sunni Muslims. A fatwa is a non-binding Islamic legal ruling from a respected religious scholar, usually based on the Quran or the Sunnah, the sayings and practices of the Prophet Muhammad. Dr. Daya's fatwa, which was published in a detailed 6-page document, criticized Hamas for what he calls violating Islamic principles governing jihad. Now, jihad means struggle. In Arabic and Islam, it can be a personal struggle for the spiritual improvement or military struggle against unbelievers. Now, Dr. Dayat adds, if the pillar, causes, or condition of jihad are not met, it must be avoided in order to avoid destroying people's lives. This is something that is easy to guess for our country's politicians, so the attack must have been avoided. For Hamas, the fatwa represents an embarrassing and potentially damaging critique, particularly as the group often justifies attacks on Israel through religious arguments to garner support from Arab and Muslim communities. The 7th October attack saw hundreds of Hamas gunmen from Gaza invade southern Israel. About 1,200 people were killed and 251 others taken hostage. Now, Israel responded by launching the military campaign to destroy Hamas, during which more than 43,400 people have been killed in Gaza, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Well, this is all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, new floods have hit the region of Girona in northeastern Spain, sweeping away around 30 cars in the town of Cadix, according to Spanish media reports. The video posted on local sites a torrent of water gushing down the street and pile of cars blocking a bridge early this morning. Now, no casualties were reported in the latest round of flooding to hit the country. More than 200 people were killed last week, most in the Valencia region area, in one of the worst floods in Europe this century. Now, the disaster ignited intense anger at the authorities for not issuing emergency alerts sooner. Flooding in Cadix in the early hours of Friday morning caused around 30 vehicles to pile up under a bridge. Catalonia's fire services said on X no one was injured or trapped. The emergency responders have added more potentially dangerous weather is suspected in the region overnight. Catalonia's meteorological services have issued a rain warning from Friday evening until Saturday afternoon for the area of Alt Empordà, where Cadix is located. The weather agency warned rain intensity could exceed 20 millimeters or 0.7 inches in 30 minutes. All right. So, what more can we link to that? Well, some will say the use of fossil fuel and all that, and COP29, we have COP, now we've got to 29. A senior official at COP29 climate change conference in Azerbaijan appears to have used his role to arrange a meeting to discuss potential fossil fuel deals. A secret recording shows the chief executive of Azerbaijan COP 2019, Elnur Sultanov, discussing investment opportunities in the state's oil and gas company with a man posing as a potential investor. We have a lot of gas fields that are to be developed, he says, a former head of the UN body responsible for the climate talks. That Sultanov's action were completely unacceptable and a betrayal of the COP process. Well, as well as being the chief executive of COP29, Sultanov is also the deputy energy minister of Azerbaijan and is on the board of SOCA. Now, Azerbaijan COP 2019 has not responded to a request for comment. Oil and gas accounts for about half of Azerbaijan's total economy and more than 90% of its exports, according to U.S. figures. Now, so do you think they're going to stop it? Because you think that other parts of the world is getting flooded and all those things? If that is what we think, then we're really, really joking. Trump is saying, well, they're going to start dredging, drilling, fracking. All is going to be taking place. So pick one. Which is your choice? Star Radio UK at 40 minutes past 12. Vladimir Putin has congratulated Donald Trump on his election victory, calling him a courageous man. Speaking at an event in the Russian city of Sochi, the Russian president said that Trump was hounded from all sides during his first term in the White House. Now, Putin also said that Trump's claim that he can help end the war in Ukraine deserves attention, at least. That during this campaign, Donald Trump repeatedly said he will end the war in a day, but he never elaborated on how that could happen. Now, during Putin's address, which lasted several hours and covered a wider range of topics, he also spoke of the assassination attempt of Donald Trump in July, saying it made an impression on him. Now, after being shot, Trump punched his face into the air and mouthed the words "fight, fight, fight" before being hurled away by the Secret Services agent. He behaved, in my opinion, in a very correct way, courageously, like a man, Putin said. Asked if he was ready to have discussion with Donald Trump, Putin replied, "We are ready, we are ready." Okay, now Trump had already said on Thursday that he was prepared to speak with Putin, and he said, "I think will speak." The Kremlin was widely accused of interfering in the 2016 presidential election to boost Donald Trump's campaign against Hillary Clinton, claims rejected by Moscow. But this time around, he won it pounds down. Aziz, how do you feel about the new elected president? What are the fortunes that you think you're going to all be enjoying when it comes to it? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Donald Trump's Republican Party is only 7 seats short of majority in the House of Representatives. If the Republicans are successful, it will add to their victories in the Senate and the White House, handing Trump almost complete control over the levers of government. The party is currently projected to win 211 seats and counting continues in 24 races. Meanwhile, Trump has said his administration will have no choice but to carry out plans for a mass deportation of people living in the U.S. illegally. Now, throughout the presidential campaign, the president-elect pledged to crack down on immigration. Experts estimate that his proposal would cost tens of billions of dollars, but Trump says it is not a question of a price tag. He says he has said it and he will do it. To the final segment of the program here in the UK. The death of a nurse from North Lanarkshire has been linked to the use of a weight loss drug recently approved for use on the NHS. Now, Susan McGowan, 58, took 2 low-dose injections of tezepatide, known as the brand name Mounjaro, over the course of about 2 weeks before her death on the 4th of September. Her death certificate that have been seen lists multiple organ failure, septic shock, and pancreatitis as the immediate cause of death by the use of prescribed tezepatide is also recorded as a contributing factor. It is thought to be the first death officially linked to the drug here in the UK. She was thinking that she's put on too much weight. She wanted to lose it, and she ended up losing her life, not the weight. Starr Radio UK. Now, Britain's most senior police officer has accused those in position of authority of fueling a dangerous narrative about the shooting of a black Londoner, Chris Kaba, after he was stopped by the police officers in 2022. Sir Mark Rowling, the Metropolitan Commissioner, said by focusing on Mr. Kaba's ethnicity, they had created rumor and innuendo which could embolden those who work against the public. Now, the Labour MPs Diana Abbott and Kim Johnson and former Labour MP Jeremy Corbyn were among prominent people who raised concerns about the potential police racism or call for justice for Chris Kaba. The mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, said the shooting had caused the anger, pain and fear for black Londoners. A charity, the Runnymede Trust, tweeted that the legal system doesn't deliver real justice for families bereaved by racist state violence. The tweet was taken down after jury cleared a police firearms officer, Martin Blake of Medrin, Mr. Kaba, and Old Bailey judge removed a restriction on reporting Mr. Kaba's criminal past. Now, Sir Matt's comment came at an event hosted by the charity Crime Stoppers, which provides confidential ways of giving the police information. Now, discussing the erosion in the trust of the police, he said those in positions of authority need to pull in the same direction on trust. I think, unfortunately, too often this is just not the case. I think some people need to be more aware of the weight of their words, their attitudes and actions, and embolden those who work against the public. From the outset, over the last 2 years, the majority of the conversation online focused entirely on Chris Kaba's ethnicity. But they said, he was a black boy driving a nice car, and the police cornered him, and they didn't know, though the car was said to be involved in a shooting or something, a shoot and run or something, but he was cornered and he was shot. So when we all heard it, we thought, no, that wasn't it. But with more information coming in and seeing footage of the incident, makes you think, whoa. But the question that my colleague, Mr. Frank Davis, always had said was that, now, if you are not guilty about anything, why do you flee? The police want to stop you. You stop. Come and bring it on. What do you want to ask me? Come and ask me. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. Okay. We'll be having Mr. Dan Tabiri pretty soon, so just stay with us because he's going to be throwing more light on the last week's budget that was read by the first female chancellor in the UK, and then the reduction in the interest rate by the governor of the Bank of England and everything. Let's see what is going to happen there. He's going to be telling us more about that. So just stay tuned and don't tag the dark. Let's take a commercial break. We come back and I'll prepare you. Okay, let me bring you the final story from this front. Then once we take the commercial break, once we come back, we'll be having the one and only Mr. Dan Tabiri in the house, bringing us, yes, the money hour. Is it illegal? Is it legal to import salmon rajis, the Sinani vessels in India? The question has been puzzling legal experts since the Delhi High Court suggested this week that the notification banning the novel import issued in 1988 might no longer be valid as the government couldn't locate it. The Sinani verse is criticized by some Muslims as blasphemous, was banned in India shortly after its release, sparking protests worldwide. Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa in 1989 calling for Rushdie's assassination. Now, this forced the Indian-born Booker Prize-winning author into hiding for nearly a decade. Although the book remains officially banned in India, some legal experts now believe it could be imported unless the government reaffirms the ban. Others, however, caution that practical obstacles may still exist. The ban on the book came under scrutiny after Sandipan Khan, a resident of the West Bengal state, tried to buy the book but learned that it was not published in India nor could it be imported. In 2017, he filed a right to information request for the notification banning the book's import, but was sent through a series of the departments without finding it. In 2019, Khan took the matter to the Delhi High Court, arguing that the ban impacted his freedom to read. Now, over 5 years, government departments has repeatedly, failed to produce the notification, despite customs having similar records from as far back in 1968. Now, finally, on the 5th of November, the court declared it had no option but to presume that no such ban notification exists and therefore could assess its validity. The case raises a perplexing question. Is a notification valid if no copy of it can be found? If somebody burnt it or is missing, what happens on that front? The simple answer is we don't know yet. So we follow it very, very closely and wait the new Indian Indian Prime Minister. Do you think he cares? That is the question. Well, this all coming away from Starr Radio UK at 12:25, and the final one before. The Foreign Secretary here in the UK has dismissed his previous criticism of Donald Trump as old news and insisted he will be able to find common grounds with the president-elect. When he was a backbench MP in 2018, David Lammy described Trump as a tyrant and a woman-hating, neo-Nazi, sympathizing sociopath. But in his first interview since Trump's victory, he said, the president-elect was someone that we can build a relationship with in our national interest. Now let me praise his election campaign as very well run, adding that I felt in my bones that there could be a Trump's presidency. In an interview, Lammy was challenged over comments he had made about Trump before he was Foreign Secretary. Now in 2019, ahead of Trump's state visit to the UK, Lammy also posted that the then president was deluded, dishonest, xenophobic, narcissist, and no friend of Britain. Pressed over whether he had changed his mind, Lammy said the remarks were old news. You will struggle to find any politician who had not said some pretty right things about Trump in the past. In that period, particularly with people on Twitter, lots of things were said about Donald Trump. He said, I think that what you say as a backbencher and what you do wearing the real duty of public office are two different things. And I am Foreign Secretary. There are things I know now that I didn't know back then. Ask if Trump brought up his previous comment when the pair met for dinner in New York in September. Lammy said, not even vaguely. All right, so let's see what is going to happen there. But ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, we will take some musical break and prepare the ground for Mr. Dan Tabiri to join in. And this is from the Zongo man himself. And he says, be nice. You know, you have to be nice, whatever it is. Especially when you don't know how the fortunes of somebody will turn. Just be nice to them. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you in the next moment with Mr. Dan Tabiri, looking at the budget statement made, the first budget statement by the Labour government in how many years? About 11 years or 14 years. Well, stay tuned.
Hey, Kokoti, Kokoti, Kokoti. Be nice to your brethren, be nice to your sister, be nice to everyone, and make the world a better place. Say hello to everyone, everyone say hello. Smile to everyone, everyone smile. Don't smile in my face and stab me hard in the back. You are the bully, oppressor, and a gangster. You're just a bombing, starving, shooting, killing, murdering innocent children, harassing them in the neighborhood, disturbing the peace in the neighborhood. Why can't you be nice, hey, and kind? Be nice to your husband, be nice to your wife, be nice to your colleagues, be nice to your mates, be nice to your friends, be nice to your neighbors, be nice to everyone, whether black or white. Kokoti, 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 kokoti. Unite against racism. Unite against oppression. Unite against gangstercracy. Unite against misogyny. Unite against homophobia. Unite against xenophobia. Unite, hey, unite. Unite.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Unite against hate and make the world a better place. Hey, Kokoti, 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 Kokoti. Children, be nice, oh children. Children, be nice.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Children,
You are listening to Starr Radio
be
Morning
nice
Show.
to your friends. Children, be nice to your parents. Say goodbye to knives. Say goodbye to guns. Say goodbye to gangs. Don't shame your family. Don't give them headaches, stress and grief. Make them proud of you. So be nice, hey, be nice, be nice, be nice, be nice to everyone and make the world a better place. Be nice to your children. Be nice to your employees. Be nice to strangers. Be nice to refugees. And be nice to yourself. Be nice, be nice, be nice to everyone and make the world a better place. And make the world a better place. Yeah.
Well, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yeah. And make the world
at 12:32, and it is Starr Radio UK morning show. With a Zongo man himself saying, "Be nice, be nice, be nice." At least that's all you can do, right?
Children, be nice.
And in our way of being nice to you, we are going to be bringing you a money man who will be telling you how to be nice while your money and everything can be very nice for you.
Be nice to your friends. Children, be nice to your parents. Say goodbye to knives. Say goodbye to guns. Say goodbye to gangs. Don't shame your family.
Well, we're looking at Rachel Reeves, highlights of Rachel Reeves' budget statement.
Make them proud.
And how that impacts you.
So be nice, hey, be nice, be nice, be nice, be nice to everyone and make the world a better place. Be nice to your children. Be nice to your employees. Be nice to strangers. Be nice to refugees. And be nice to yourself. Be nice, be nice, be nice to everyone and make the world a better place. And make the world.
Okay, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and we gonna be going to Kent, where our money man is. I don't know whether he's on. Let's see whether he can hear me. Hello, Mr. Tabiri. Okay, I think his line is dropped. Let's see. He will call back. He will call back.
Make the world a better.
Well, the song man says, "Make the world a better place. Make the world a better place." Of course, why not?
Against hate and make the world a better place. Hey, Kokoti, 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 Kokoti.
But I can tell you shortly now, I've got the money man himself, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining in to bring you the money hour. I know you've missed him.
Be nice to your mates, children, be nice.
Okay, don't you worry. At the tail end of the program, I'm going to bring you that full tune, 100% there. That's wherever you are. Stay tuned and don't you go away. Let me go to Kent, where our money man is. Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I am well. I'm well by God's grace. Can't complain. The weather is turning a little bit chilly, but hey.
Yeah. We
are still alive, so we are thankful.
I was a bit under the weather, so I told the listeners, so now I have to put on a hat in the studio so that I get a bit warm from there. Yeah, so I think that they are bearing with me, so I know they are ready to hear you pertaining to what you have for us today. Okay, so what are we looking at for today?
Yeah, so what I want us to look at is, something that's more topical. Recently, we've had the budget, the first Labour budget being read, and we heard all the politicking around what was in it. Now we have it. There was a lot of speculations leading up to the reading of the budget, but now we have it, so it's important for us to go through and see what's in there, how it affects us, especially for individuals and small businesses who form the basis of our listenership.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. So we're having a look into the budget that of Labour for the past 14 years, the first budget from Labour for the past 14 years, and quite an interesting one there. Okay, we have Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, who is bringing you all that. Okay, so first of all, the summary of the budget. How do you see it? Is it a good budget?
Well, it depends on which color of glasses you're wearing or seeing the budget through. If you are looking at it from a Labour point of view, you see it differently. If you're seeing it from conservative point of view, again, you might interpret it differently. But the key thing, one thing that I think everybody accepts, is that the economy needs growth. We have come through a situation where we have high interest rates and high inflation, and therefore we needed something to stimulate growth and bring back inflation down, and also potentially bring down interest rates. That's the target.
Okay.
On the other hand, we also see our public services, particularly the NHS.
Yeah.
Everybody accepts the fact that NHS would probably need more funding to get the service that it was designed or we expect to receive from the NHS. That's the priority. And then, if you remember, before the budget, there was this revelation from the Labour government when they, took power, that there's a 22 billion black hole. And so there's a black hole in our finances that needed to be filled, which means that without that getting filled, there will be no finance for some of our public services. So it was important that this budget is able to address some of these issues that faces our economy and the country as a whole. So yes, it was expected that there will be some form of tax rises in order to be able to raise enough money to be able to fill this black hole, and also the agenda of the government in this parliament. And I believe that is what this budget sought to address. So if you sit on the Labour bench, then you might say, yes, we need this budget. If you sit on the Conservative bench, then they might say, oh, this is inflicting more hardship on the British people. But hey, it's all politics, and you have to look in between the lines and make your own decision as to where the decision lies.
Okay, listeners, so are you ready to know how this budget helps you out or how it punches you? Well, you want to know? I don't know where Mr. Tabiri will want to start from. Where the punches that we're going to receive first, and then he tells us later on how it's going to cushion some of us as well. So, Mr. Tabiri, where are you starting from?
Okay, so let's start from what was in the budget in relation to personal taxes.
Okay.
So let's start from personal taxes. If you remember, one of the Labour manifesto pledges was that there wasn't going to be any tax rises affecting individuals. So let's see whether they claim, well, Richard Reeves, according to the budget, claimed that they were not raising any taxes on individuals. Let's see if that is entirely true. So we saw that says rates of income tax and national insurance paid by employees and of VAT to remain unchanged. So no income tax changes, no national insurance paid by employees, and no VAT changes. So it stayed at 20%. And so if you look at that, then you say, okay, so individuals are not going to experience tax rises. She also pledged that income tax thresholds rise in line with inflation after 2028. So no changes to our tax until after 2028, which would see thresholds move in line with inflation. We also see basic rate capital gains tax on profits from selling shares to increase from 10% to 18%, with higher rates rising from 20 to 24%. If you remember, recently there was a whole lot of hullabaloo about who is a worker or who is not. That stems from this capital gains tax rate on selling of shares. So we saw the Prime Minister come out to say that, yes, workers or individuals who own shares, and if they sold those shares and received a capital gain, they would see a tax increase. On the other hand, they had promised that individuals will not, have any tax rises on their income. And so that came about with the redefinition of the Prime Minister of who a worker is. And that's what this tax is about. So essentially, it's not entirely true that individual taxes would not rise. So if you are an employer and you hold shares in say Shell or BP or any of the publicly listed companies, and you sell it at a gain, you would incur some tax rises on your capital gain.
Okay, interesting.
And then we also saw that inheritance tax thresholds freeze has been extended by a further 2 years to 2030, with unspent pension pots also subject to the tax from 2027 onwards. Again, we see here that the inheritance tax threshold, which is £325,000 a year, has been frozen and will be extended further for another 2 years to 2030. In the previous budget, that was extended was frozen up to 2028. Okay. But the Labour government is pledging that this will be extended further to 2030 financial year. So that's by way of the individual taxes. There wasn't any movement as far as we're concerned, except for the capital gains tax on the selling of shares. So unless you have, shares or stocks in any companies of businesses, then you should not see any effect on your taxes as directly as a result of this latest budget.
Okay. Yeah, let me just chip in there for a bit. Somebody is asking a question. So, will you classify crypto if somebody has a cryptocurrency or is involved in that, and they sell it? Are they going to be paying taxes on it? Does that apply there as well?
Yes. So there's currently a project by the government to bring people who have cryptocurrencies to be taxed on that as well. So all of those assets become taxable. So if you receive a gain, there's currently a project going on for people to declare their crypto assets and gains so that they can be taxed effectively. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Go on, sir.
So let's move on from personal to business. So with business, says companies to pay national insurance for their employees at 15% on salaries above £5,000 from April 2024. This has been increased from 13.8%. So this is a 1.2% rise in on the tax rate on salaries. Previously, the band above which employers paid national insurance was £9,100.
Wow.
And this has been reduced to £5,000. This single measure is going to be very, very significant, impacting also on individual taxes as well, because for people who have personal service companies or individuals who have personal service companies through which they trade, traditionally the idea or the tax planning tool has been to take a salary below the national insurance threshold, and then the rest of your income is taken as dividends. With the lowering of the national insurance rate, it would mean that people would no longer be able to take £9,000 in salaries. They'd have to reduce their salaries by £5,000, because once you go over £5,000 as a company, you start to pay national insurance.
Wow.
On the other hand, they have also increased the employer's national insurance allowance. This employer's national insurance was £5,000 and has now been increased to £10,500. So it's giving it one way, but also, also tax it the other way. This is to prevent people abusing the tax rules, basically, and also it's meant to target the larger companies. So larger companies are able to are not able to take advantage of the employer's allowance, because they are employing more than 50 people, and also their national insurance bill is more than £100,000 or so a year. So those size of companies would not benefit from this employer's allowance increase.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, the Friday edition of the morning show. Of course, you know that this sector or this segment brings you the Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, who is with us this afternoon and bringing you or having a look at the budget, the autumn budget statement that was made by the Labour Party, the first female Chancellor of the Exchequer here in the UK, Rachel Reeves, and its impact or how it affects you, and that's what he's looking at this afternoon. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial, but it applies to those of us in the UK. All right, to you, over to you, Mr. Dan Tabiri.
Yes. So still on businesses, The main rate of corporation tax on taxable profits over 250,000 is being pledged to stay at 25% until the next general election. So we expect that at least for the next 5 years, unless we have an election called early, then for the next 5 years, corporation tax rates will stay at 25% at the higher level, above 250,000. This is in line to make sure that the UK corporation tax rate is competitive in respect or in comparison with other G7 nations around the world. Now, we've had some changes as well in the wages and benefits and pensions. So the legal minimum wage for under 21s currently, which is £11.44, from April next year, this is expected to increase to £12.21 per hour from April. So if you are paid on an hourly basis, then you need to make sure that you from April, your wages is amended to reflect this increase in national legal minimum wage. And this is for people who are over 21 years old. The rate for 18 to 20-year-olds is also expected to go up from £8.60 to £10 as part of a long-term plan to move towards a single adult rate. So there's a plan to get a rate which we call an adult rate and not have these different bands of ages where the minimum wage would have one rate.
Okay.
That would be applicable. Other measures, also quite significant, would be an increase to stamp duty rates. Stamp duty rates, we see an increase in stamp duty rates. So from the Finance Bill 2024 to 2025, there will be increase in stamp duty rates payable by purchasers of additional dwellings and by companies from 3% to 5% above the standard residential rates. So this will be quite significant because when you buy a property of, let's say, £100,000, or if you buy a property, well, these days I don't know where you can really get a property of £100,000. But let's just say £200,000. You buy a flat of £200,000. Then you are and you have your own home, which means that perhaps this becomes a second home. Or an investment property. Then you are looking at stamp duty of about 6%.
Wow.
On a £200,000 purchase. So that is a big tax hike, and stamp duty is never a pleasant tax to pay because you pay it and you never see it again. It's one of those taxes that really hurts when you're buying a property. So that is going to be a problem. The government would also increase the single rate of stamp duty payable by corporate bodies acquiring dwellings for more than £500,000 from 15% to 17%. So if you have a company that is buying a property for dwellings, which is valued at more than £500,000, your stamp duty is moving from 15% to 17%.
Okay, but if it sticks at let's say below 500,000, it will be the old rate, 15%. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So now, even though again the government said there will be no tax rises on individuals, the Labour government is still pressing ahead with VAT charges on private schools. So if you are sending your child or your ward to private school from 1st of January 2025, expect a bill of 20% on top of what you are already meant to pay in VAT for the year from 1st of January 2025 onwards. Some of the measures as well came into effect on transport. On transport, we had a 5p cut in fuel duty on petrol and diesel brought in by the Conservatives due to end in 2025. This has been extended, or this has been kept for another year. So we expect this to be in place until April 2026. And then it was also introduced, we have a £2 cap on single bus fares in England. This is to rise to £3 from January for outside of London and Greater Manchester. So the cap is going to rise from £2 to £3 for single bus fares.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yes. Spoken about fuel duty. We expect also government in the budget. Something was mentioned about government spending and public services. So day-to-day spending on the NHS and education in England to rise by 4%, 4.7% in real terms this year, before smaller rises next year. We also expect defense spending to rise by 2.9 billion pounds next year. We are in a dangerous world at the moment. The UK is obviously trying to build its preparation or its readiness for any external aggressions by increasing its defense spending by 2.9 billion pounds. Home Office budget to shrink by 3.1% this year and 3.3% next year in real terms due to assumed savings from asylum system. And then we also have 1.3 billion extra funding next year for local councils, which will also keep all cash from right-to-buy sales from the next year. So quite a loaded budget. But it's all about raising taxes or raising funds for the government to be able to pursue its agenda for the current parliament that we are in.
Wow, listeners, I think you need a whole day to sit down to actually re-listen to everything that we are discussing here this afternoon. Though the Chancellor of the Exchequer presented that last Wednesday at the Houses of Parliament. What are your reactions to it? And do you have any questions pertaining to what Mr. Tabiri has put across? You have any? You got to just put them across and we'll be asking him. And even if we are not able to address that today, God willing, next week when he comes on, we'll be able to touch on those ones as well. So when it comes to pensioners, was there anything for them as well?
No, pensioners were not touched at all. If anything, what was touched with was the removal of the subsidy for the winter fuel, which was announced pre-budget. As far as pensioners was concerned, that was the only highlight of note.
Okay. Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK. All right, we'll leave you to just sum up what we've discussed this afternoon, and then after that, you can put your contact details and everything across nicely, so that our listeners who have listened to you this morning, who have not heard of you before, knowing the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge that you have, will be able to get in touch with you, sir.
Yeah, sure. So this really is a summary of what's in the budget. We're starting to get the nuts and bolts of what the Chancellor read to us in summary. So we're getting more details through, and as the year or the time unfolds, we'll be able to come your way with more details to be able to explain some of the nitty-gritties in this budget and how it's going to affect your personal tax and your business taxes. As always, I'm available to be consulted if you have any questions or any issues pertaining to your accounts or tax issues that you need advice or support with. You can reach out to me on 07961248834, 07961248834, and I will do my best to help or assist in any way that I can.
Wow, Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very, very much for sharing your wisdom with us this afternoon.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure coming your way always.
All right then, we'll catch up later then.
Have a good weekend.
And you too. Right then.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the money man himself, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. As he put his contact details there, please get in touch with him if you have any issues pertaining to your accounts. If you are self-employed, you have got your business accounts, and at times self-assessment, and you don't know what to do about it. Well, just get in touch with him, and you just say you listen to him or you heard him from Starr Radio UK. You get a rebate for that as well. He's not like the Chancellor who just kept on increasing everything. He gives you a bit of rebate there. Yeah, you can save some money there. All right then. So this is why we bring the program to a close for today. And let me say once again, thank you very much to all of you who have supported us during the course of the week, and those who have supported us back in the day and years and all that period of time that we have been with you. Yes, it is going to be a lovely weekend, whatever that definition might be to you, because some people would think that a lovely weekend may be a sunny day, but yeah, somebody who is enjoying the sunshine elsewhere, right? Okay, maybe here it's a bit cloudy and all that kind of, but whatever it is, we want to say thank you very much, and we want to say have yourself a very wonderful weekend, and we'll be coming your way, God willing, on Monday with the Monday edition of the morning show, God willing. Yeah. All right then. So Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy, our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, and my own producer, Mr. Francis Gayi, for all the wonderful work that you've done this morning, for all this program to come your way. We say have a lovely day. Those of you who contacted us, sent us messages and all sorts, we say God bless you all until we come your way on Monday. It's been me, your one and only Archie, saying have a wonderful weekend and bye-bye for now. Enjoy the rest of the tune from the Zongo Man. It says be nice. Of course, going to the weekend, I have to tell you that. Be nice to everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Hey, Kokoti, Kokoti, Kokoti. Be nice to your brethren, be nice to your sister, be nice to everyone, and make the world a better place. Say hello to everyone, everyone say hello.
The coolest way to start your weekend. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
And stop me hard in the back. You are the bully, oppressor, and the gangster. You're just a bombing, starving, shooting, killing, murdering innocent children, harassing them in the neighborhood, disturbing the peace in the neighborhood. Why can't you be nice, hey, and kind? Be nice to your husband, be nice to your wife, be nice to your colleagues, be nice to your mates, be nice to your friends, be nice to your neighbors, be nice to everyone, whether black or white. Kokoti, 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 kokoti. Unite against racism, unite against oppression. Unite against gangstercracy. Unite against misogyny.
Thanks for listening.
Unite against xenophobia. Unite, hey, unite, 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 unite against hate and make the world a better place.